Hello, Collective. Welcome to your music channel, the last of today on 11/11. I want to say that the go-to song is All Too Well by Taylor Swift. I've done past readings. If this one makes sense, maybe the other ones will, okay? Please make it resonate. The Sagittarius could be relevant. Taurus, Libra, Gemini. Yeah. And specific message, this is straight from the lyric. Ever lovely Jewel, the idea of me, who was she? Okay, so somebody had the perception that you were this something you were not, basically. Okay, and Jewel is a crystal, right? You're a gem. Maybe somebody had the perception that you were always a certain way. Like, if you talk about crystals, jewels, and gems, it's positive, it's always shining, it's always shining. Right? Maybe somebody thought you were always going to be happy. You always look happy. You could be expensive, okay? But something changed. I feel like overall from that lyric, that sentence, that somebody had a perception that you will always be one way. But that's not your true self. That's not the authentic you. Okay? Or you could feel this way about this person, but I feel like it's the other way around. If you're feminine, somebody had a perception that you will be the way they wanted you to be, or how they perceived you to be. Alright? Now, for some of you guys, I think I mentioned that in the past readings, you could be dealing with a narcissist, okay? I think I talked for at least 1 or 2 readings about the backstory of this actual song, okay? Not all of you guys are dealing with a narcissist. For some of you guys, you're dealing with a twin flame that is toxic or karmic. For others, it's a narcissistic individual, soulmate, twin flame, etc. And for the rest, small portion of you guys, you're dealing with somebody that was supposed to be your twin flame, but they didn't heal, okay? They're not toxic, they're not karmic, they're not narcissistic, but they just didn't do the work, okay? So this is going to be divided into 3 categories. The first one, narcissistic people. The second one, the fake twin flame, the fake soulmate, right? That was the catalyst for the new one, right? So for instance, you dealt with them. You went through a lot of lessons, and then you healed, you found your person immediately, okay? Group number 1, you just dealt with a karmic soulmate that was narcissistic. And the last group is for the people that had your twin flame. You guys were on the path of healing, but something happened and time was up, okay? So we're gonna start first with whomever is in the first category, as in you're dealing with the narcissist, okay? Now this person here still see you in a light that is not your true self. So for instance, if you thought it was hell with them, they felt like it was fucking heaven. This kind of reminds me of one of the readings I just did. Want to turn your hell into their heaven. So their perception is, collective, no, our relationship was awesome, we were always happy, we were something together. Meanwhile, you as the viewer, you're like, that shit fucking drained me. That was one of the most toxic relationship you ever been in up to date, okay? The narcissistic individual feel like you guys had a solid, healthy relationship, or at least it was solid. It was not as chaotic, it was not as hellish as you perceived it to be. They're looking at it like it was a good relationship, and you're here like you almost fucking died. What the fuck do you mean it was a good relationship, right? This narcissistic person, they want to offer you a commitment once again. A lot of them, it is put a ring on your finger. The same person thinking that the hell was heaven for them, they want to propose. They want you guys to interact once again. Okay. this person here has no intention on fixing things between you guys, okay? Because it came out like this. So they feel like if they just put a ring on it, if they just interact with you, you guys will be solid. You guys will be good. This is their narcissistic mindset when it comes to you guys' connection. I say you better fucking block everything, leave, go ghost, then disappear from this individual, because I don't feel like this person knows what boundaries are, obviously, because they're a narcissist. I don't think they know what a boundary is. I also don't think they are going to give up. So for a lot of you guys, you're going to hear from this narcissistic person again, and it is to mend the relationship, only to trap you, okay? You guys heard my personal advice. Let's just pull an advice card from here. And can we move it to category 3 or 2? Listen, the viewer, if you're dealing with a narcissistic that wants to come back into your life, remember to stand on your boundaries and to go ghost. Don't exist. Don't interact. Nothing. Because you know what? Everything will work out in your favor. Okay? When I say go ghost, I'm talking about you need to delete yourself from this individual because they don't know what boundaries are. Like, this is not on a joking matter, okay? So group number 2, you were with the fake twin flame, fake soulmate, the catalyst for your real soulmate. For instance, like I said before, it was crazy, it was hectic, they were toxic, you were toxic, it was karmic. However, you learned from that. Now you know what you don't want in a relationship. You healed from it. The new one, hello. Let's form a life together, okay? These are your cards. This person here, they want to bring you unconditional love, and this is the emphasis on their relationship. It's unconditional, it's mutual, the attraction there, the love is there, it's beautiful, okay? However, something is still like under construction, okay? Something about July 3rd, something happened in July, okay? It could be last year, a specific timeline. Let's see who's born during this time. July 3rd. Now, I feel like something took place on that date, but according to Google, July 3rd is for Cancer. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mercury. Okay, so July 3rd, somebody could be Cancer, okay? But I feel like it's more so what happened on July 3rd. Something happened specifically, which is like blocking your guys' forward movement. It's under construction, okay? Anything else for collective? This person does not want to be separated from you guys. You guys are in separation. For some of you guys, whatever happened on July 3rd caused this separation to not heal the connection, okay? And now the love feels conditional instead of unconditional, okay? Let's move on. Let's do your advice card for group number 2. Right now, according to the cards, you need to focus on your art, on your work, on your creativity. Or this is what this person is going to do. Because for a lot of you guys, July 3rd was like the stepping stone of things going left. And for the rest of you guys, it is the fact that they have love for you, but something is still under construction. It has nothing to do with July 3rd. It's just that some things need to be like focused on. And it could be work. It could be, you know, if they have like a side job, a side gig, they kind of need to be focused on something where they have stability, right? So maybe less on the relationship, more on their stability, their work, so they're not coming in empty-handed, okay? Now, if you're not supposed to be together, like I said before, you will heal from this person, meet your soulmate, right? Now, this person could also heal. You guys can come back together, but again, whatever happened on July 3rd or whatever happened in terms of construction, I feel like their work or whatever they need to bring to the table is still under construction. So last group. you are dealing with a real ass twin flame. Okay, this is for the small percentage. Okay, this is the thing where it's like you met your person, you felt that you knew them from another life, right? The connection was 10-10, but it was a very step-by-step twin flame relationship. The runner chaser dynamic, very valid, very useful, very relevant. Okay, we got this card here. They know it's an ending. Okay, how are they feeling? They know it's an ending. I'm also tuning into somebody you might feel dead, which feels very twin flame reactive, I will have to say. So for some of you guys, the ending between you guys, they know it's over and done. However, they still miss you, they still love you, but they are confused when it comes to this love. It's kind of like they have a love-hate relationship with you. So basically, you're with twin flames. Like I said, they did not heal. So for instance, you guys got together, it was a very twin flame, you separated. For some of you guys, they know this will never be fixable. It's over and done. However, you have moments where they feel very reminiscing of you. They feel this love energy from you. Like if you send them loving energy, healing energy, they feel that because they're still with twin flame. Some of you guys did not do the cord cutting, okay? And I feel like it has to do with the fact that if they just heal, group number 3, if your person just healed, you guys would have been in paradise, okay? Because I'm not going to sit here like the twin flame relationship is... Listen, if you're in it, you're in it. And the shit is not easy, okay? Now, your person here choose not to heal. They didn't want to do the work. Okay, when people like do the work, do the healing work, this person is like, fuck this shit. I don't want to look at my mirror self. I don't want to do no work. I'm happy living in my ego. I'm happy living in my wounds. I don't give a fuck. That's how your twin flame was operating. However, like I said, from time to time, often they feel this energy and they're trying to act like they don't feel it. They don't give a fuck. So they have now this love and hate relationship with you. Like I said, if they just healed, did the work, you guys would have been in what? In paradise, instead of having an ending for life in the physical. Okay? If they still feel it in the spiritual, they might have a chance to heal willingly and you guys can come back to get in union, because it gives the energy of like, it's not over. Even if it's over in the flesh, it's not over for you guys. This is for group number 3. Maybe you're coming from 2 as well. Group number 3, you have a twin flame that doesn't want to heal. That's your biggest obstacle, okay? Now, like I said, you got that problem, group number 3, and you also have the problem of your twin flame feeling the unhealed one. For some of you guys, is the lack of healing. And they still feel love and they're trying to deny it, right? But for some of you guys, you have a twin flame, they feel fucking dead. Like they feel dead without you, okay? That's a little bit more dramatic. But some of your twin flames is in that energy. They feel dead. Now being with you makes them feel like they don't... It's beyond depression. It's like life doesn't matter, okay? Now, some twin flames have felt this attachment to their other divine counterpart, feeling like the separation feels like death. Collective. On my channel, on here, on my readings, do the work. Do the healing work. Yes, love is an attachment, but it's not supposed to feel like that, okay? But I've heard a lot of stories where a lot of people feel like that. They feel like when they're not with their person, it feels beyond a heartbreak. It feels like fucking death. Okay? Now, you might resonate with that type of terminology. Okay? Let's continue. What's relevant for the rest, everybody. Okay? We got this one here. A lot of people, some of you guys, the person would let go of their defenses. Others will still be in their ego. So it's like 50-50, depending on just the word. Okay? and a lot of confidence will come in. Somebody wants to apologize for belittling your you. So for some of you guys, you got a soulmate, twin flame that belittled you. Excuse my speech impairment. This could be a feminine that did this, okay? It could also be a masculine here. This person could be air sign, Capricorn, Leo, Sag, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, feminine here. They could have done this. This person here wants peace with you. They also want to have conversation with you, right? They want to give you the Ace of Cups. They want happiness with you. I do feel like somebody wants to apologize for belittling, okay? Not acknowledging your feelings, you know. I do feel like somebody is really, they're very sad for how they treated you. Now, I don't know if it's group 1, 2, or 3, okay? I just dissected, I dissect this thing now, okay? I don't know if it's, like I said, it could be group 1, 2, and 3. Make it make sense, collective. But this person now, they feel, I would say this though. You know what makes sense to you? Ultimately, the twin flames, the soulmates, they want victory with you. They also know you're heading towards victory. Okay, so that's why they're very sad for belittling you. For some of you guys, your person was on some snake behavior. Okay. Now, obviously, it says there on the card, narcissistic, empathic paradigms. By this time, everybody knows what it means. Whether you were from group 1, 2, or 3, like I said before, if you're dealing with a narcissistic individual, don't do it anymore. Okay. Now, I will have to say, what I've noticed, there's a records that there have been some narcissistic tendencies between twin flames, okay? And a lot of people that are less spiritual tend to link now. There are studies that feel like twin flames feel very narcissistic. Like I said before, if you feel like your person is narcissistic in terms of personality and not their tendencies, okay? Everybody can be a little bit self-centered, ego-based, but there are like levels to this, okay? But I have seen a lot of people, especially that's from like the medical field, they feel like the twin flame dynamic is toxic. They feel like it's narcissistic. You know, let's not act like we haven't seen the reviews from specialists and people talk about twin flames, okay? How other readers, every time they do reading, it feels karmic, and then they put twin flame on it to put a nice bow on the dynamic. Personally, on my channel, like I said before, twin flames, they're not for everybody, and the journey is not easy, and you kind of have to be ordained by the divine. This is not like which I feel like a lot of people do. They link the dynamic with their soulmate, and because it's like they run and chase your toxicity wave, that's a twin flame. You can have karmic people in your life. You could be a karmic. You could have past life connections. You can have reincarnated individuals. You could be one of those individuals in their life. But when you're in a twin flame relationship, you would know. And to be quite honest, it's not based on, it's not normal. Twin flame, they're not normal. It's not a normal connection. I don't know if I need to break it down, because twin flames, now this is my version. It is your soul recognizing your person's soul. You know how people be like two souls are split in half, divine feminine, divine masculine, right? You come together in your whole. I don't believe that part. Okay, I did understand it. I look at it more from like, why did that scare me? Oh my god. But I look at that more from like, you have parts in yourself that your person can heal and vice versa. And ultimately that will help the collective. Like your love in itself, it's not the norm. You know how people be like, you found the true love? That in this day and age seems like an impossibility because of how things are structured in society. You just finding somebody that loves you and you love them back unconditionally, it's not normal. What's normal in society today is open relationships and marriages and hookup culture and treating your partner like they're lesser than, right? And calling that love, calling attachment love, calling codependency and toxicity love, right? Not respecting your partner, that is love. You know, you have to understand, twin flames when we were younger is not twin flames today, right? Again, my personal opinion now, okay? So some will be here to bring in the new earth in terms through their children, right? That is for all the star seeds. So if you have a child or gonna get children, it's the rainbow, crystal, indigo babies. Okay, that's your mission as the twin flame. I used to talk about this a lot in the beginning of my messages for YouTube, but I do less and less because I realize, again, over the years, not everybody's on that path. Everybody wants to be on that path, but it's not for everybody. And even for those that's on the path of a twin flame, they don't even make it. Hence why they're unhealed people and healed people, similar to unhealed divine masculines and feminines and unhealed divine masculines and feminines. Okay? The second thing here for the twin flames, it is the healing of oneself so you can heal together, or healing of oneself so you can heal together, which in turn heal the collective, as in, I know it sounds woo, but planet Earth. Like those people that tell their love story to inspire other people to actually love again, inspire again, right? Do good again. If it's not the children part, right? It is you're coming together as twin flame. That is, one of the missions. And then lastly, which I feel like a lot of spiritual people, they go into that direction, because when you're a twin flame, you will get into something by default. You become a humanitarian. Okay, if it's not spiritually, it's like, it's for the people that work with, healing. What it is, alternative music. Music is healing. So, healing work, spiritual work, medicine woman, medicine man, doctor, firefighter, lawyer, counselor, psychologist, psychiatrist, like anything to help the humankind, right? Philanthropist, etc. Now, a lot of people, they do it together or they do it separately. Like one person could be a medicine woman and then your partner could be a firefighter. The point of it all is that you guys are healing the earth by doing what you need to do linked to your purpose, right? You guys can do it separately. You guys can do it together. But the point of it all is that you're on your mission. You're in your purpose. Okay, that's my 3 versions of a twin flame. If it's not the babies, okay, it's the union of, or the inspiration of your guys' connection. The third one is the healing work. Okay? In all this process, you know yourself, you heal yourself, you love that self so you can love your person, and vice versa. That's my personal opinion when it comes to the twin flames. And you also get confirmation, because I know all of this sounds very practical, but you get the confirmation from the divine. This is no such thing as like, and I know this sounds tricky, even for if they're not healed, right? So you ask for signs. I'm gonna take myself into the equation. I'm a very spiritual person, as you guys can see. And then as much as I get messages for you guys, I get them for myself. If I ask my spirit team in this scenario, God, right now, I have done the praying and the fasting and all that stuff. And I ask God, is this person my divine masculine? And God doesn't say nothing. Logically, you'd be like, okay, no, right? But maybe I wasn't right to hear the answer because I wasn't in my purpose or wasn't ready to hear the answer yet. It depends on the situation. But God could very much be like, no, that's not it. Or no answer, and get me the answer. Or I will receive the answer when I'm ready, right? It's very clear, similar to how you can get 1111, 222 butterflies and their names, right? When you get the approval of your person, you can ask the universe, ask God, ask a spirit team. My go-to is at least have a third confirmation. If you get the numbers, make sure you get some sort of message from your spirit team in terms of angels, maybe a spirit animal, maybe a number. Maybe you need to just get the answer from God, but at least get it at least three times, okay? I say this to say, you will get the answers if you're really looking for it, okay? And it will not be a switcheroo. A lot of people, when they're in doubt, you have to also be careful because a lot of spiritual manipulation takes place. That's why it's important to cleanse your motherfucking energy, to do the cord cutting with the people you don't want to deal with. So for instance, again, my belief system, I don't believe that God is going to be like, heck, even in a spirit team, especially if you're intuitive, deal with the same person that put you through hell for the sake of the journey. Alright? Like, there are levels to this. If you're like somebody like, no, I want to go through hell with my person, I signed up for this, then that is what it is, and you'll be okay with accepting your person back into your life because you knew what it was when you signed up for dealing with this twin flame. You might be one of those people where it's like, my twin flame was toxic, I knew what it was, but you love them. The confirmation from your spirit team hasn't changed. That is a part of your mission, okay? But for the rest of you guys, that is like, they did this and that, and I almost died, and they beat me, and I lost money here, and you know, it was just attack after attack. Or do you really think that God, your ancestors, universe is going to be like, oh yeah, that's for the mission? Like, this is the thing, especially when you're like, I didn't sign up for this. Let's say you've been through all this trauma, they come back again. Just logically, will you just be like, yeah, I'm gonna do this again? Like, you know when your heart was right or wrong, okay? That's why it's really important to know that self, because you can't just accept things for the sake of accepting, for the sake of the twin flame. Like, you guys are acting like you don't have free will, and I'm sick of it. You're acting like your person don't have free will. You're acting like you don't have free will. Like, if you want to go through that fucking trial again with that person, then so be it. It's your choice, but you don't have to. Okay, so I know I say this like a broken record, but you know when you're in a twin flame. You also know when it's the right person. And if it's too much for you to bear, there are ways to cut cord with those individuals, collective. I say this all the time. If you can pray, manifest this specific person to come in, you can do the same for them to be away from your life. Like, all the energy you have for when will I see them? Let them come back to me. And for the trifling people that do spell work to break all this, people are just not conscious enough when it comes to the consequences of their actions in relation to twin flame. It's not easy. It's not supposed to be easy. That's why it's inspirational. Okay? Sorry for venting. I just have to lay that 1,000 out for you guys to know that. And another thing, I know a lot of people awaken different times. That's just how humanity is. You know, it's like going to school. Just because you went to this school learning A doesn't mean that the next person knows what A means in your school. Okay, so don't assume that what you know, everybody would know. On that note, what I've also noticed in the twin flame dynamic, if you know something spiritually, it doesn't mean your person is awakened, okay? And I agree with this setting where it's like, you know, what you know, your person might not know or understand, but because of your guys' interaction and how things are set up universally, they will know eventually, right? How that will be, it's up to divine timing, okay? But it's not gonna be where it's like, take this with a grain of salt, this specific insight right now, or this advice. And it goes against my moral compass just a little bit, okay, just a little bit. But those are waiting for like 5-10 years for their person. If spirit team emphasis on God is like, yeah, that's your person, but it's gonna take a while, and divine timing doesn't have a set time, and it's like 5 to 10 years, and they come back, that was your journey. Again, it goes against my moral compass. Personally, that couldn't be me, right? But I have seen that take place. Very few, just like how is a very small amount of people that are even twin flames in general, okay? I'm talking about worldwide, okay? So, because twin flames are not a thing, right? Just like, I really hope I'm making sense, okay? Let's do a little advice card, and then we're gonna keep it moving. We got this card here. So this is like, sometimes life stinks. Yeah, sometimes life's a bitch. It hurts. And you could have hurt a lot with this person. They could have hurt you. You could have hurt them. For a lot of you guys, it was a part of the journey. But more so for you guys to learn each other, or just learn oneself so you guys can heal. The entire thing of the twin flame in general, whether it's you guys having babies, you guys heal the world in the words of Michael Jackson, or number 3, what was the third one? So it was babies, be healer, better spiritually, or like of the world. I don't remember the third one, but you can rewind, play it back. The point of it all is to know thyself. Like I said, twin flames in 2025, it's not the same way as twin flame from 10, 20 years ago. Just like how things were moving in the love department, it's not how things are moving now, right? It's the same thing how some things are legal in some countries. It wasn't legal a few years ago, decades ago. This is what I mean when I say not everybody is on a twin flame journey. You're about to get some sort of truth, TRUTH, that will bring peace to your heart and peace to your mind. Okay. Woo. It has to do with some frustrations or obstacles, collective. You're about to get some truth when it comes to that. Okay. From this person. And this might be a tower moment. This might do a 360 in your life. Or maybe you're going to come in with some truth when it comes to this person. And it might be a tower moment. For instance, I'm going to use examples now. When I first started to learn about Twinflame, which was literally 10 years ago. So I've only been on YouTube doing this a few years. But like, when I tell you I'm in this shit, it's not for the sake of YouTube, okay? But my mission is a part to do messages for you guys. Until, right? But yeah, so when I first started watching YouTube in terms of Twinflames, a bunch of people, they weren't in union, just like today. And even if they were, the dynamics was very unusual. That's when I was starting to learn about people. So for instance, there was this Native American girl. She was Black American and Native. Her soulmate was from a different country. There was this whole phenomenon a few years ago when it came to Twinflames, and a lot of people talked about the age gap is one of the symbolism when it comes to Twinflames. A lot of people talked about being from different countries, right? I think that was the biggest like type of symbolism, the age thing, and the from different countries. One person having like a better life than the other, like they used opposites of that matter, right? One person was poor, another person was rich, like symbolism like that. That 10 years ago was was a long time ago, okay? But yeah, like I said, so I started first learning about open relationships from a Twinflame couple, okay? Long story short, the Divine Feminine met her Divine Masculine. It was great. It was back and forth. It was that typical Twinflame journey, right? But the masculine, their dream or their wish was to have a child. The Divine Feminine, not so much. To be frank, she even said she hates children, okay? So how can she come together with her Divine Masculine? He knows that he's the Divine Masculine. She knows that he's the Divine Masculine, okay? But their obstacle was the fact that one person wanted to have a child and another person did not, okay? You could see their fucking love on the screen. Like, I kid you not, I've never seen an aura like that. Even with their disagreements, I knew what that frequency was. And I can see it, and I've seen it in myself when I met my Twinflame, okay? So I say this to say, this shit is not a joke, okay? The Divine Masculine, he was so distraught. He got drunk. He cheated. Actually, no, they broke up. He got drunk. He got somebody pregnant. His wish was fulfilled. He got a baby. However, he wanted it to be with the Divine Feminine, but the Divine Feminine doesn't like children, or never saw herself having children. And later on, it became to be revealed that she had trauma, like she had a mother wound issue, and even though she had a loving family, something about her having children scared the shit out of her, okay? On a like mental level, okay? So there was that. She was very open to adopting and everything, but for her to have her own child, no, okay? Example number 2. This was a Twinflame where there was an age gap difference, okay? A beautiful young Divine Feminine, her Twinflame, at least 20 years older, okay? So if she was like in her 40s, her twin flame was in her 60s, right? Now, this is the thing. She even look younger than her 40s. Okay, side note, all twin flames that have a glow to them, specifically the divine feminine, when you do the work, you look younger and you heal faster. You self-regenerate, okay? That is the thing too. Becoming a divine feminine, I'm going to tell you this. When you do the work, you are transformed. Let's move on. So, the divine feminine that was 20 years younger than a divine masculine, she said she knew that was her person. However, as in her twin flame, she didn't feel, she talked about it. She's like, that I know that's my twin flame, but I don't feel attracted to my twin flame. But she knew instantly, okay? Now, they have never been interactive like that, but she knew by his soul that that was her twin flame. Their code of remembering was the age thing, right? And he supports her doing her spiritual work while he goes on and do his thing. But the moment they interacted, things started to look better for him. You know, if he was struggling with work, right, or his self-esteem, all of a sudden he'll look healthier. The work place respected him more, right? He felt more like himself, right? And this is from not even being with the divine feminine, but just having a meeting. Like, you don't, guys, you need to, the twin flame dynamic is much more intricate and powerful than you realize. It is not just based on romance, far off. It is to recognize your oneself. It is really much bigger than just the love part. Okay? It is a healing frequency between two individuals that came on earth to be like, we're going to experience this and that. We're going to come together and remember. And so it is. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay? And through all of these experiences, there are attacks and manipulation and confusion. Why? Because when you remember yourself, you gain what? Power. And there are forces that works day in and day out for us to be fucking blind to each other, but heavy on oneself. This twin flame thing is not a joke, bro, sis. Anyways, I know this was long, and I tend to go in when it comes to twin flames, but I needed to clarify it so you know what it is. To just help some of you guys along the path, if you're like still confused even after all of this, have like a specific sign, a specific code. Like when you meet a person again, or if this is for real again, have something that is just otherworldly, right? Something very specific, and I'm not something more than the average. You know, if you went with 444 for like 1 or 2 years, go with something else. Maybe not go with a number. Maybe go with a spirit animal. Maybe go with I need a person to tell me such and such, or something. Because let me tell you, the universe listens. Okay. I don't know if I want to say this, but there is a specific symbolism for me when I meet with my twin flame. It is, I need like a spiritual sign that almost feels ethereal. That's specifically coded for me and my twin flame. As in, if something happens to this flesh, I know for a fact, even if I leave this body, that thing will still be activated. I will still be conscious enough to know when that is. Like, even if I get fucking Alzheimer's, my spirit would know, okay, I know what that is. Even if I get attacked, that thing will still activate it. Like, you have to be a little bit smart, collective. You have to be a little bit smart. And this is what the people that watches this based on twin flames to come, or is, or was, so you can understand the severity of this connection, okay? Because I feel like if I don't break it down like this, that's why you be confused and be waiting forever and a day, or just waiting for the wrong person. Meanwhile, you could have clocked this shit since yesterday if you just did the work. You know? Anyways, so we're about to wrap it up. Remember to be loyal, who loves you. We're gonna do some initials. I really thought I had like the sniffles, because I did have it in like when I woke up too much. Actually, I haven't been sleeping well, and that's from yesterday. But also my readings has been coming longer. And initial wise, if this makes sense to you, it makes sense. If not, thank you for stopping by. In terms of the timeline, we're gonna leave it to divine timing. Okay, all the spiritual mumbo jumbo, we're gonna leave it up to when the universe sees fit, God sees fit for you guys to reunite, get a sign, etc. Okay, so initials, yours or them. We got KK, ENL, GTN, ZTDHAEHR, VNERX. Okay? I do feel like for some of you guys, somebody works like in the medical field or with healing. Okay? You or them. Somebody could also work with like, be like a heart specialist. Well, yeah. One of the symptoms, I almost forgot. Side note, any physical symptoms, if your doctor is like, don't sweat about it, it's nothing, it has to do with something spiritual. It could be a good omen or a bad one. So just be mindful of what it is. Again, check with your spirit team and so on. But heart palpitations, like your heart racing, almost like low-key anxiety is also one of the symptoms, or I would say this, it was one of the symptoms in conjunction with the age symbolism, and what's the other one? Coming from a different country, speaking a different language. The heart palpitations was also one of those go-to symbols that was talked about 10 years ago. Okay. So that is also relevant. Like, you see a person, you get anxiety, or you can even feel it before you meet them. Some people even dream about their person before they meet them, and that is like your guys' go-to signs. Some of you guys, it's the other signs I just mentioned, right? But again, that was like 10 years ago. Now, if it's still applied, make sure you fucking update that shit. Double check, triple check, okay? At least 3 times, okay? Because your lover, they're not perfect, you're not perfect, but when they're for you, they're for you. Okay? So thank you guys for tuning in and seeing the next reading. Check out the old ones if it makes sense. For a lot of you guys, it probably will make sense. On that note, happy 11/11, which is also Portal, by the way. So stay cleansed up.